Hi, welcome to my belated April good news video. This is the video in which I share with you all of the good news, all of the quotes from my commonplace books. This is what I collected into my commonplace books in the month of April. I did not read a whole lot in April, and I did the commonplace books such a long time ago because I was traveling, so I don't even remember what I put in here. So this will be a great reminder for myself as well. I'm just gonna dive in. If you have never seen one of my commonplace book check-ins, I call them good news because I think this year we need a lot of good news, and I feel like the books that I read just have a lot of really great information in them, a lot of really beautiful language, and there are certain themes that I'm focusing on. So one is nature, one is beauty, one is faith, one is love, and one is other. Anything that doesn't fall into those categories. So as I'm reading a book, if there's something that I want to tab or underline, I ask myself, is this something that I really want to capture? And if so, then I handwrite it. I decide where it goes, which theme it goes with, which theme it supports, and handwrite it in my book. So this is all the good news for the month of April. And let's see what I wrote. We're going to start with nature. So this is from H is for Hawk by Helen MacDonald. Goshawks are nervous because they live life 10 times faster than we do, and they react to stimuli literally without thinking. The next one is from H is for Hawk. The goshawk is staring at me in mortal terror, and I can feel the silences between both our heartbeats coincide. Her eyes are luminous silver in the gloom. Her beak is open. She breathes hot hawk breath in my face. It smells of pepper and musk and burned stone. Her feathers are half raised and her wings half open, and her scaled yellow toes and curved black talons grip the glove tightly. It feels like I'm holding a flaming torch. I can feel the heat of her from on her face. She stares and stares. I love that. I've never thought about what a bird's breath smells like before. I love that. Also, our last one for nature, and also from H is for Hawk. The feathers down her front are the color of sunned newsprint of tea-stained paper, and each is marked darkly towards the tip with a leaf-bladed spearhead. So from her throat to her feet, she is patterned with a shower of falling raindrops. Her wings are the color of stained oak, their covert feathers edged in palest teak, bared flight feathers folded quietly beneath. And there's a strange gray tint to her that is felt rather than seen, a kind of silvery light, like a rainy sky reflected from the surface of a river. She looks new, looks as if the world cannot touch her, as if everything that exists and is observed rolls off like drops of water from her oiled and close-packed feathers. Just absolutely beautiful descriptions of birds in that book. Our next theme is beauty. Let's see what we gathered in April for beauty. One quote, but it's a big one. This is from The Passion Project by Lyndon Sperry. When I finally make it to Bryant Park, I like the subway steps. When I finally make it to Bryant Park, I hike the subway steps and cross the street to the closest building New York City's got to a Parthenon, the New York Public Library. I take 1 millisecond to pause and look at it, to admire the odd sense of time travel I feel in its presence. The grandiose arches above the doors, slate gray pillars holding them up, the intricate statues carved into the building's face. This city is so fast, so industrial, that I sometimes forget that there's also history here. This building feels out of place, a relic, but I feel a sudden rush as I start to ascend the marble stairs toward its gaping, I can't read the word that I've written here, mow. The library isn't out of place. No, it will outstay everyone and everything here. It's everything new and shiny that are merely tourists camping out in New York's stoic, unchanging facade. The next topic I have is faith. And I have one quote for that this month, and that is from the book The Prayer Box by Lisa Wingate. You are not a god of endless harbors. Harbors are for stagnant sails and barnacled wood, but the sea is fresh rain and cleansing breeze and sleek sails. You are a god of winds and tides, of journeys and storms and navigation by stars and faith. That could have gone on beauty or nature too. That's beautiful. Let's go with love. Let's go with love and end on other is what I intended to say. So let's find April. We might have quite a few. Yep, April. All right, first I have a quote from a movie that I watched. Sometimes I do this. I have another quote from Call the Midwife in here, but I watched Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy, and I have a love quote that I put down in here. It says, "And even though there might be 600,000 words in the human language, the world still struggles to find the right ones when someone you love is gone." This is from Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Hello? His warm voice felt like I was being wrapped in fleece. To what do I owe this phone call? I asked, scurrying out of the kitchen to the living room. I'd like to come see you, he said, without preamble. I stopped, dead in the living room. You want to come see me? Yes. I blinked. Why? A pause. I can come this weekend, or the one after that, he said. Whatever works for you. My heart was pounding. Why? I asked again. He was quiet on the other end. Because I need to be in the same room as you. Also from Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. He pulled me to his other side to put his body between me and a bedraggled man heading toward us, muttering to himself. Then he took my hand, giving everyone the flat sort of scary expression that was his signature look. The hand thing made my heart do somersaults, but the protective thing, that was my currency. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. You didn't remember to forget me, I said quietly. No, he said. I did not. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I couldn't act like I didn't remember what being with her felt like and that it hadn't changed me. She didn't think we could have parallel lives, but we were. Even when I couldn't talk to her and she was 2,000 miles away, I was next to her. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I thought about you every minute. Even when I wasn't thinking about you, I was. Anybody want to take bets? Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Would you still want me if I was a worm? He pulled his face back and looked at me amused. Am I also a worm? No, just me. Well, if you were a worm, things would change. Oh, so no? So I would take care of you. I would learn everything there is to know about worms. I'd become a worm expert. I'd put you in a flower pot. I'd make sure your soil was warm and you were safe. I'd set you on a windowsill, but not too high so you wouldn't be scared. I wouldn't know if you still understood me, but I'd talk to you anyway. I'd play music I know you like, and I'd plant flowers for you. I'd decorate your pot with seashells. I'd never leave you alone. I'd take you with me everywhere. All right, the next three are all from Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I think there are two types of people you fall in love with. The ones who are a good fit. Their lifestyle matches yours. You share the same values and beliefs. You find them attractive. You like to spend time with them. It's good, great even. You can live your whole life with the person and be madly in love and never want anything different. Unless you have already met the other type of person you fall in love with. The one. The person who was made just for you, and you only ever get the one. If you had the power to erase every memory you have of me so you didn't know what you were missing, would you do it? No, I wouldn't do it. Why? Because life wouldn't be worth living if I didn't remember you. And our last one, In Love, from Say You'll Remember Me. For all the effort it took to get where I was in life, to have the things I had, my own clinic, a staff, people who relied on me, a very real part of me wished that I had never done any of it because the things I owned now owned me. I could never walk away from it now without it ruining my life, even though going back to it without her felt like the scary thing. I hope you don't mind some safe advice from an old man. He looked me in the eye. I would trade everything for one more day with my wife. Everything. If you love that girl even half as much as I loved my Claire, you will pack your bags and leave yesterday. None of this matters. None of it. It's just stuff. You can build another clinic somewhere else. But that, what you have with her, that is not easy to find. The universe doesn't just hand out true love. Why on God's green earth would you give that up? From Glorious Exploits by Ferdia Lennon. But Galen sees Desma often and in the strangest of places. He's seen her in the shape of a join in a pot, a meaningless little crack, and he'll stare at it till you poke him. When you ask him what he's been looking at, he'll whisper Desma. He sees her in a smudge of paint, a tree, a stretch of sky, and flowering water too. Galen sees Desma everywhere. And two more for love. These both come from Passion Project. It feels like I'm returning to him after a long journey, like I've met him in a past life rather than mere months ago. It's a kind of familiarity that lives below my skin, warming me from the inside out. And I love you. I will probably love you until the day I die. I can't see a world where I stop loving you. I need you to know that. I never stopped, and I never will. Love. And finally, Other. Other for the month of April. Ooh, there's quite a few, so I don't know if I'll read them all, but we'll see. I say that every time, and then I read them all every time. April might be different. You never know. Let's see. So the first one comes from Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man by Jessie Q. Sutanto. Just so you know, there's quite a few from this, as I can judge from the first page here. So it says, Vera is having so much fun, she half wonders if she shouldn't write a book about it. Also from Vera Wong, she hums to herself as she unlocks the door to the tea house and walks in. She checks the floor to make sure there are no dead bodies on it. One can never be sure. Also from Vera Wong, good. Otherwise, my son, the important lawyer at big law firm, will have a word with you, and I am a social media star, so I will splash the story all over social media. You think that I won't? I am a Chinese mother. All I do is create conflict. You think the CIA knows anything about destabilizing? They know nothing compared to me. Also from Vera Wong, she leans back, satisfied. Is there anything quite as invigorating as threatening people? Oh, we're back to Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Come on, Eileen stopped. We sat there in the 5 precious seconds of silence that we get every 4 minutes. Then it comes on again. She groaned. This song is going to be my villain origin story. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. The promise of something can feel so vibrant, and everything feels so dull after it is gone. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Even bad memories are sacred in their own way. From H is for Hawk by Helen MacDonald. And then my dad looked at me, half exasperated, half amused, and explained something. He explained patience. He said it was the most important thing of all to remember this, that when you wanted to see something very badly, sometimes you had to stay still. Stay in the same place. Remember how much you wanted to see it, and be patient. From H is for Hawk. When you are broken, you run, but you don't always run away. Sometimes, helplessly, you run towards. From H is for Hawk. We carry the lives we've imagined as we carry the lives we have, and sometimes a reckoning comes of all the lives we have lost. From H is for Hawk. There is a time in life when you expect the world to be always full of new things. And then comes a day when you realize that is not how it will be at all. You see that life will become a thing made of holes, absences, losses, things that were there and are no longer. And you realize too that you have to grow around and between the gaps, though you can put your hand out to where things were and feel the tense, shining dullness of the space where the memories are. From H is for Hawk. The archaeology of grief is not ordered. It is more like earth under a spade, turning up things you had forgotten. Surprising things come to light, not simply memories, but states of mind, emotions, older ways of seeing the world. From H is for Hawk. In the imagination, everything can be restored, everything mended, wounds healed, stories ended. From The Prayer Box by Lisa Wingate. The house was a prayer box in itself, the keeping place of a woman's thoughts and dreams and secrets, of who she was. The last two are both from The Passion Project. The Passion Project. I stand up, holding Fred so his droopy face is in position to be adored by the man. He pauses, taking one meaningful look at the dog, and his eyes begin to water. He laughs, dabbing the corner of his eye. Sorry, he says in a raspy voice. I had a dog who looked like this one once. It's like staring at a time capsule. Uncanny. This is Fred, I say, bouncing him like a baby. Say hi, Fred. The dog wiggles in response. The man inhales, nearly choking down a cry. My old girl's name was Ginger. Fred and Ginger. And finally, our last bit of good news from April. From The Passion Project. Imagine your soul is a bundle of matches. They're not on fire or anything. They're just sitting there. Each one represents something in your life. A match for love, family, career, and all the other stuff that fulfills us. You've been pouring water over your matches to keep them in perfect order because fire is scary and you can get burned. But matches don't want to be wet. They want to be on fire. All it takes is one thing to happen. One tiny match gets lit and it's like a domino effect, lighting all the other matches. All you have to do is light the first match. And that is it for the good news commonplace book check-in for the month of April. Until we meet again, let's go read.